The first rifle shot echoed through the valley, just as Mabel set down her cherry pie and said, "That ain't no storm rolling in." Sheriff Tom didn't even look up from his plate. He was on his third bite when he grabbed his radio and growled, "Tell dispatch I heard a .308 from the East Meadow." He paused, fork in hand, "And tell him I'm bringing pie." The rest of us froze, spoons halfway to our mouths, not out of fear, but because we knew exactly what that shot meant. Someone was hunting where they had no business hunting, on our land, in broad daylight, without a shred of permission. Around here, that's a mistake you don't make twice, especially not with the county sheriff already at the table. Grandpa Henry stood, wiped his hands on a napkin, and grabbed his binoculars from the porch. My dad, Jack, and I followed Sheriff Tom, who, despite the commotion, still carried a slice of pie as he strode to his truck. "Ain't no poacher ruining cherry season," he muttered. As we drove out, a second shot rang over the hill. "Closer now," Tom said, eyes narrowing. "That's no stray bullet. Someone's aiming to kill." By the time we reached the edge of the old hayfield, Tom killed the engine and stepped out, crouching low. He pointed to fresh ATV tracks cutting through our fence. The wire was snipped, boot prints pressed deep into the mud. This wasn't a casual trespass. Whoever was came prepared, and they thought we wouldn't notice. We crept through the pines until we spotted them, 2 men in camo. One stood with a rifle slung over his shoulder. The other knelt over a dead buck, slicing it open with a hunting knife like he was prepping for a cookout. Their truck was parked nearby, tailgate down, blood streaking the bed, a cooler already packed with meat. But what caught my eye was the neon orange vest on the bigger guy, maybe mid-40s, with HOA wildlife crew stitched across the back, like he was some kind of official. Sheriff Tom's face hardened. He didn't shout, but his calm was scarier than any yell. He stepped forward, casual as if he were buying bread. "Afternoon, boys," he said. The guy with the knife spun around, startled, then froze when he saw Tom's badge. "You fellas lost?" Tom asked, voice flat. The bigger one, vest guy, puffed up. "We're managing the deer population," he said, all confidence. "This land's part of the community wildlife zone. HOA approved it last month." Tom actually smirked. "That's so." He stepped over the buck's gutted ribcage like it was a puddle. "Got tagged for this kill." Vest guy faltered. "Didn't think we needed him in a controlled zone," he mumbled, eyes darting away. Tom tilted his head. "You think an HOA vest trumps state hunting laws? You think that patch give you rights on land you don't own?" The guy opened his mouth, but nothing came out. Knife guy finally spoke. "It's a mix-up. GPS said this was open land." Tom's smirk vanished. "Open for what? This is private grazing land. Half's leased by me for cattle. The other half belongs to the folks trying to eat their pie in peace." You could see the moment it sank in. Best guy tried backpedaling. "We thought the gate was public," he said, pointing to a trail camera overhead. Tom didn't miss a beat. "That gate was locked. You cut it. And that camera's been rolling all morning. Got you climbing the fence, scoping the field, and taking the shot." Knife guy shut his mouth. "Smart move." Tom radioed in. "Sheriff Larson here. 2 armed trespassers, illegal firearm discharge, probable poaching, and impersonating wildlife officers. Send game warden and backup." He turned back. "Hand where I can see him. Don't touch that buck unless you want a tampering charge." Dad leaned in and whispered, "You think they really believe that Vest gave him power?" Tom nodded. "People do stupid things when they think a title means something. But no HOA rule lets you get deer on someone else's ranch." Sirens wailed in the distance. The game warden arrived, a wiry guy named Carl, spitting sunflower seeds. He eyed the buck, shook his head, and said, "Clean shot, probably from that ridge." He didn't wait for a reply before scribbling notes. When Vest guy tried the GPS excuse again, Carl cut him off. "Only map I care about is the state registry. This land's private, marked and recorded. You knew it. You crossed anyway." Vest guy doubled down. "I'm an HOA wildlife manager. We're authorized to control overpopulation for the community." Carl raised an eyebrow. "Got paperwork saying this ranch is your responsibility?" Silence. Tom stepped in. "Funny thing, I read your HOA minutes. You asked a dozen owners to let your volunteers monitor their land. Everyone said no, including this family. You came back with rifles anyway. Dad sent me to grab Mabel's map folder from the house. I sprinted back, heart pounding, knowing the one he meant. Yellow deeds, hand-drawn boundaries from 1952. Mabel didn't trust computers. You can hack a screen, she'd say, but not ink. When I returned, deputies were flagging the entry point. Tom unfolded the biggest map and pointed. This is the Carter Ranch. Been this way for 70 years. That ridge? Where you shot from. And that makes it worse. Carl nodded. Firing toward a livestock shelter is a felony. Reckless endangerment, whether you hit the deer or not. The air got heavy. Carl added, no tags, no report, and you're already dressing it for transport. That's poaching, plain and simple. That's when Vest guy, name's Greg, we learned, lost it. We weren't stealing. This land should be HOA commons. Your family blocked the vote last year. You can't hog thousands of acres from a growing community. Tom's eyes glinted. There it is. You thought you'd kill a deer, claim it under some fake HOA rule, and redraw the map. Greg's face gave him away. Turns out he was a loud voice on the HOA board, pushing to expand patrol zones and quietly acquire land. He'd even drafted an internal map labeling our ranch as a reclamation zone without consent. Tom held it up. You marked private land as yours, entered with rifles, killed a deer, and played game warden. No lawyers spinning that into a mistake. Deputies found bolt cutters and extra HOA boundary markers in the truck. Greg and his buddy, silent till now, were cuffed and read their rights. As the squad car pulled away, Mabel walked up with lemonade and said, if they thought gutting a deer would claim this land, they must have slept through civics class. Tom tipped his hat. Never met a rancher with a trail cam and a sheriff with a grudge. By morning, the story was everywhere. The trail cam footage, time-stamped and clear, showed Greg and his partner climbing the gate, cutting wire, and joking, no one checked back here. It's ours. That line torched the HOA's next meeting. The footage leaked to a local blog, then exploded across rancher forums. The HOA board scrambled, but residents demanded answers. Who approved Greg's map? Why were vests printed without legal backing? Emails surfaced showing Greg had pushed a wildlife control Phase 2 plan, including our fence line, as a hunting zone. The HOA president claimed Greg acted alone, but the damage was done. Greg was suspended, and the county launched an investigation into the HOA's operations. Then the real bomb dropped. The DA found Greg had ties to a development company eyeing our land for eco-lodges. His wildlife control was a front to prove the land was underused, pressuring owners to sell. The DA called it environmental fraud, upgrading Greg's charges to felony conspiracy. His partner flipped, admitting they'd targeted 3 more properties. Their plan was to post kill photos as population management victories. Tom's response? They picked the wrong pasture to play ranger. The HOA meeting boiled over. 70 residents showed up, most demanding resignations. The board suspended all patrol operations and removed Greg's privileges. Our family filed a lawsuit for trespassing and property damage. The county sued for impersonation. The ranch went quiet again, but we swapped the old gate for a steel one, painted black with a sign, Sheriff's Livestock Range. Private access only. Mabel hung Greg's vest in the barn next to a plaque. Shot on our land, not by us. Dad grinned every time he saw it. That vest cost him their whole fantasy. Tom stopped by later with the final report. Mabel asked, how long till another HOA tries this? Tom shrugged. Not here. Word spreads. And folks know now. Step over a fence, you better check who's on the other side. The wind rustled the grass, and the lines in the dirt felt stronger. Fences, signs, and a story folks would tell for years about 2 men who thought a rifle could erase a deed. Only to learn the law doesn't care about your vest when you're standing on someone else's land. What do you think about this story? The clash of power, the audacity of those hunters, and the way justice played out. Does it make your blood boil or leave you cheering? Drop your thoughts in the comments. How do you feel about violence and injustice in stories like this? Take a stand, share your view, and let's get the conversation going.